is the exclusive property of LVH1 and the Union North United School Corporation for the private use of our audience and fans. Any retransmission or duplication of this broadcast without the written consent of LVH1 or the Union North United School Corporation is strictly prohibited. We hope you enjoy this event, and go Lancers!
A very pleasant good evening and welcome to Newton Park. Alongside Wayne Thomas, Zach Dolgus, our technical director, Dennis Feitz, our videographer, Dr. Will Hostrauser, and Dr. Brian Carver of the athletic department here at LaVille Junior Senior High School. I'm Matt Florian. Very happy you're with us live on LVH1. The Lady Lancers face the Lady Bruins of Bethany Christian. Bruins are coached by Mr. Troy Barber, come in with a 1-7 record on this season. The Lady Lancers coming off their second win of the season yesterday evening against Culver Community. First at bat for the Lady Bruins tonight. Number 7, the catcher, swings a swatter over to K9 at first. Out. Number 1. That was Cassie Miller. Next up will be number 4, Jaden Kaufman, followed by number 14, Bailey Hanton for the Lady Bruins this evening at Newton Park. I'm Matt Florian, very happy you're with us. Once again, on the mound for the Lady Lancers, Hannah Good, number 18, your starting lineup and your starting position for the Lady Lancers defensively. At the 1 position on the bump, Hannah Good. Tasia Senders holding down catcher as usual. Swing there, straight up and straight into the glove of number 8. Alexis Wilfing getting the start at second base. Gets a high five from our first base starter, senior Carissa Foster, number 9 at first base. Third base, Hannah Philly. Shortstop tonight for the Lady Lancers, Cameron Gorka. She watches one go up and into the hands of center fielder Carissa Wise. She's backed up in left field by Celeste Feitz and in right field by Madison Annis, head hefty lefty herself. 3 up, 3 down, a great start for the Lady Lancers. We're going to take a short break, come back for the bottom of the first. Tie ball game at 0 here at Lancer Field on LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation and the voice of the 2017 Lady Lancers softball season.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of LaVille Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Indiana. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
At TN.
Bottom of the first, a good, strong defensive start for the Lady Lancers against Bethany Christian. Alongside Wayne Thomas and Dennis Feitz, I'm Matt Florian. Very happy to have you aboard on this LVH1 Tuesday night evening game from Newton Park. Tip of the hat also to LVH Publishing, the incomparable Mandy Ross on the field taking photos for the yearbook tonight. She does good work along with the rest of the students in Mr. Brad Phillips' program there at the junior senior high school. Defensively, your starters for the Bethany Bruins we were just going through. On the bump, For Bethany Christian, number 12, Andrea Yowzi. Behind the plate, number 2, Cassie Miller, who was the leadoff. I'm sorry, number 7, Cassie Miller, who was the leadoff hitter for the Bethany Bruins. Batting second and at second base, Jaden Kaufman. Batting third, Bailey Hanton. She was at first base defensively. Andrea Yowzi is batting cleanup. At the plate for the Lady Lancers, number 24, Cameron Gorka, shortstop tonight. She lays down a bunt, goes foul. Going back to the Bethany Christian Bruins, Bethany Christian High School comes in with a 1-7 record. The Lady Bruins batting fifth. The shortstop, Emma Bontrager. Batting sixth, Brooke Reinhard, who is playing right field tonight. Batting seventh, Megan Duckworth. Third base for the Bethany Bruins tonight. And batting eighth, a quick check, that is Abby Hostetler. I do hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, who is in center field. Rounding up the batting order for Bethany Christian, number 11, Melina Liris, who is in left field. And after all that, it is 2-1. Still Cameron Gorka at the plate. And I'm going to welcome in our scorekeeper as a quick slapper there from Gorka. Gets out of the hands of the shortstop. She will make it unopposed and unchallenged to first base. Wayne Thomas, a very pleasant good evening to you, sir.
Good evening to you too, Matt. I enjoyed that first half of the inning we had there, but if Hannah Good keeps pitching like that, you guys are going to dock my pay. I'm getting a whole lot of talking time.
It was a great defensive start, supported by, I think, 2 key plays at shortstop and at second base for Hannah Good. 1 inning defensively down, quick drop ball, and that allows Cameron Gorka to scoot over to second base. They concede the stolen base. 1 ball, no strikes. At the plate is Hannah Philly. She's batting second for the Lady Lancers, followed by Tasia Senders. Carissa Foster is batting cleanup this evening. Batting fifth is Celeste Fights. Madison Annis is batting sixth. Alexis Wilfing is batting seventh. Hannah Good, our pitcher, is batting eighth. And Carissa Wise is batting ninth in the lineup. And that rounds up your starting batting order for the Lady Lancers. 2-0 the count to Philly.
Gorka starting early with a stolen base already. I think that puts her at 13 on the season.
Swing and a miss there from Philly. I believe that is. And I think you and I were talking before the game and during the day about yesterday's game. The Lancers are 2-9 now in the season, 1-3 in the conference. Quick bunt there, straight back to the pitcher. Has a little trouble handling it, but gets the, I believe, out. Yes, out at first, but runner goes to third base. Cameron Gorka has scoring position, and Tasia Senders at the plate. And Tasia has all sorts of fire, Wayne Thomas, after a home run yesterday in the offensive slugfest at Culver Community. 18-16 was the final score in a full game. Lancers got their second win of the season off of the bats of Tasia Senders and the Lancer offense. Outside, ball one to Boomer.
It hurt. She'd promised to hit a home run for me when I was at the game, and she hit it at the game I wasn't there for. So I asked her to do it again for me tonight, and we'll see what she does.
Swing, and that's all sorts of power, but a little bit underneath it. Goes into the batting cages off of the third base side, 1-1.
It looks like she brought her home run bat with her. So
I think she did. I saw her briefly this afternoon, and she said, you know what, that was just good for me. It felt good for the team. There's a lot of good things that happen when Tasia Senders at the plate and hitting well. Watches ball 2 go by, 2-1 to number 5.
that puts her at almost 500 batting average for the season, just under.
Coming into this game, Tasia is at 400, actually, 414. Outside, ball 3, and it's a hitter's count.
Her on-base percentage, I'm sorry. Her on-base
There you go.
percentage just over 500. So she has definitely been a catalyst for this team's offense. Her power combined with Cameron Gorka's speed has really helped spark a little bit for this season.
And sometimes It's not just the hitting, it's getting on base as she takes first base on balls. I'm going to welcome Dennis Fights in a moment or two as we see, as usual, number 17, Nina Sadak, come in for the Lancer catcher. That'll bring up the cleanup batter, Carissa Foster. And Dennis doing our video as usual here in the Dome at Newton Park. Zach Dolgus, our tech director this evening on VMix, just a little bit to my left. It is a little bit dark out there, and I'm actually going to make sure that Dennis has the ND filter turned all the way off on that camera. The lights are not on here at Newton Park. I'll tell you what, Mr. Thomas, if it gets much darker, and it should be, Dennis is going to take a look at it. Zach is going to take a look at it. If it gets much darker than this, we're going to have to start paying the electrical bill around here and see if we can get some lights turned on. Tip of the hat to Zach Dolgus. He does pretty good work for us here. Swing there and fouled off down the third base line from K9, 0-1. Now, Dennis, I have to make sure, as usual, I go to our rules guru. There's 9 in the batting order in the starting lineup because we do not have a designated hitter with K9 at the plate staring down Andrea Yauzi on the bump for Bethany Christian. Can you explain, is it a mutual thing? Is it a conference thing? Another swing?
It's more of a coach's preference thing at this level. Just depending on what the coach is thinking and who, if somebody's struggling at the plate and he has one player who he can't find a place in the field for but has a really good bat, they can usually make that work around.
Now, in a situation like this, would it be, if, for instance, Bethany Christian had presented, and this is a swing, this is into center field. I'll finish that thought in a minute. 1 run will score, an RBI single for K9. Lancers are on the board, 1-0. That'll bring up Celeste Fights. Runners at first and second. 1 out. Bottom of the first, 1-0 in favor of the Lady Lancers. Does it, I presume there's got to be some kind of strategy, Dennis, in between, one coach and another coach. If one coach, for instance, presents a designated hitter on the lineup, and maybe we can pull in Coach Will Hostrauser for some extra insight into this, would Coach Carver or Coach Herbster or Coach Metters, would they go and change up their lineup card or erase or add? I mean, how would that work in the event of a designated player?
Done before. I mean, I could believe it might happen, but usually you have your your lineup predetermined before the game, and you're, in your groove, and all the players are ready. And to change up a curveball like that when you're about to start with the lineups being presented right before the game, I don't see that being done. Possibly could happen, as Nina Sadak did an excellent job stealing third base.
A double steal there. We got Chris over on second base also.
The Lady Lancers have got the war drum going in their dugout. Coach Dave Herbster and Coach Sky Metters at third base and first base, respectively. Lancers in scoring position. Nina Sadak, a dangerous base runner. 2-0, the count to Celeste Fights. This is swung up, and this will be out of play. Just out of play on
it's back in play. It's going back in.
No, that's not how it works, Mr. Thomas. 2-1 to Celeste Fights. Celeste this year batting solid threes across the board, solid 300.
I think it's worth pointing out we've got Tasia up there with a hot bat, but then we're able to replace her with Nina Sadak, the multi-sport athlete.
Full count, actually, to Celeste.
Yeah, that scorekeeper's falling behind. But Nina Sadak, the multi-sport athlete, brings a lot of speed. And as great of an athlete as we feel Tasia is, Tasia's just not quite as fast as Nina on the base path. Now bases are loaded. So bringing up Coach Carver's favorite player, Madison Annis, the lefty.
Hefty lefty at the plate. Bases loaded. Good eyes from Celeste to get on base. Runners everywhere. Delivery high. Eye level for Madison. Called ball 1. Lancers just needed one good solid hit last night to wake up their bats and get some offense going. It came off of the bat of Tasia Senders, the first and only so far, the only home run of the season for the Lady Lancers. 2-0 the count to Hefty Lefty, who can do quite a bit of damage. And with runners everywhere, swing, chopper, all fouled back, pardon me.
Into another ballpark. No, and Annis is kind of like a Boomer Junior almost. She's got a lot of power with her bat too. She's still trying to learn how to refine it. But as a senior, she's going to really be depended on, almost like Tasia has been this season.
3-1 hitters count to Madison Annis. Andrea Yowzy on the mound for the Lady Bruins. Gets the signal. Here's delivery. Outside. Base on balls. Runners advance. 1 run will come in. It's a 2-0 lead for the Lady Lancers. Alexis Wilfing coming to the plate. 7th in the lineup. She'll be followed by Hannah Good. And it looks like we're going to have a quick conversation on the mound with Bethany Christian coach Troy Barber. Bethany Christian coming into this game, like I said, 1-7 earlier this evening, traveling from Goshen, Indiana. Bethany Christian, I think we could say, Coach Will Hostrauser, more well known for baseball at one point rather than softball, but they do.
And soccer too.
And soccer, absolutely. That's the other one I was thinking of, and I couldn't remember.
This is going to bring Wilfing to the plate. She's one of our young freshmen. She actually got the pitch in that win yesterday, and she's also been playing a little bit more infield, holding down second base tonight, but played a little bit of third before, and really going to experience a lot of positions out there to become a player they can lean on a little bit more. Our own version of a super utility being developed.
There you are. Do have to pass along, not sure if he's tuned in right now, but I do want to pass along my sincerest best wishes and greetings to Coach Scott Shear. Swing and fouled against the backstop from Wilfing. I stopped by and was able to spend quite a bit of time with Coach Shear and Mrs. Sherilyn Shear yesterday evening, just to catch up with Coach Shear. Coach Scott obviously has been out for the better part of March, all of April, and into May with serious health issues. Blastomycosis is what his diagnosis was after many unsuccessful and negative or clear tests. He spent all of April and the second half of May in Indianapolis at Methodist in critical care. Swing and a miss there from Alexis Wilfing, 1-2 the count. And the way he explained it to me, Wayne, was he has scar tissue so badly in his lungs because of the fungal infection, which is what blastomycosis is, so badly that he basically has to relearn how to use his lungs. He's improving vastly, and I know that he misses being at the ballpark with these fine young ladies tremendously. So we are glad that he is on the mend. He is finally at home in Goshen. He is at his own house, which is always good, and he is doing substantially better. Alexis Wilfing straight up, and there's a quick play back at third. Canine did not tag up and had to scramble back, so Lancers still with loaded bases. Alexis Wilfing flies out to second.
Yeah, but it's good to know Coach is home. That's a big step in recovery, and if anyone's got the positive attitude to really overcome his struggles, it'd be Coach Shear.
Swing and a miss at the plate right now for the Lady Lancers. Number 18, Hannah Good, 8th in the lineup. She'll be followed by Carissa Wise to round out the batting order. It has been a journey of patience. Patience was the word he kept using over and over. Everyone that knows him, everyone that's been coached by him or seen him in the hallways or seen him at games knows that he is an absolute firecracker. He's just energetic, every single day, and he shared with me that one of the toughest things, and this will be a quick play, foul ball there. Good aggressive base running by K9.
With 2
to
outs,
come
all
down.
the ladies were really hustling down the line, trying to keep the inning alive.
Patience has been the struggle for Coach Shear. High, tried the ephus pitch there, 2-2 the count. Because it will take time, and that's the only way that he will get better is through time and physical therapy. He's doing exceptionally well, according to him and his wife. That's a quick hit to dangerous levels of left field. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. That's Celeste and K9 coming in. Off of the glove. Off of the glove of the shortstop for Bethany Bruins. That's Emma Bontrager. I'm chuckling. I don't know how much you're hearing in the background, but Coach Will Hostrauser, Doctor of Culinary Arts over there, who's in the dome at Newton Park where we are. We're right above the concession stand, and they're making the popcorn. They're making sure things are going, but you can tell from the smell coming upstairs that someone's sleeping on the popcorn. So he made a couple of comments about my coffee choices, which we won't get too much into because I respect him, and I like working at LaVille. Bottom of the order, Carissa Wise for the Lady Lancers.
That's some of the best coffee you're going to find at a gas station within 2 miles of here.
This inning's refreshments brought to you by McClure's on Kern Road, just north of here.
Now, if you're sleeping on popcorn, are you buttery?
What?
You said somebody was sleeping on the popcorn.
You don't have philosophical debates when there's ball games to be had, Dennis.
In fact, Hannah Good adding to her lead. Scored 2 runs to.
Quick foul there into the hands, and it looked like off the ungloved hand of the catcher for the Bethany Bruins, Cassie Miller. 1-1 is the count to Carissa Wise, playing center field this evening for the Lady Lancers. Now, Dennis, I'm almost afraid to ask, but I'm going to. With that play off of the glove of Emma Bontrager, and this is a fair ball. No, that does stay fair all the way down the third base line. Quick scoop and toss by Melina Liris from left field.
We just batted through the order.
We did.
Gorka back up.
Top of the order, and it is. Coach Will pointed out, first time we have made it all the way through the batting order in, I believe, 1 inning. 2-out situation. 4-0 is the score in favor of the Lady Lancers over the Lady Bruins. High, ball 1. On the bases right now for the Lady Lancers, we have pinch running McKenna Lewis at second base. She's running for Hannah Good. Carissa Wise at first base. Hefty Lefty is at third. Shortstop can't make the play. Dribbles into left field. Quick play at the plate, not going to be in time. RBI single there for Cameron Gorka. Top of the lineup for the Lady Lancers. Good start there for Cameron Gorka to get the batting order back at work. 6-0 is the score now.
I'd say this has been a pretty productive first inning.
I'd say so.
Shot. They've scored a touchdown in the first inning already, so.
Touchdowns in baseball, usually a good thing, if it's for the home team. Delivery, high, ball 2. Philly on the year coming into this game, just like every other player, has been improving tremendously. This will be a quick play at third, not going to be in time. Good toss there from Cassie Miller behind the plate for the Lady Bruins. Not going to be in time.
That was a double steal. We got C. Wise moving over to third, and we've got Cameron Gorka stealing second at the same time.
Aggressive base running, and the Lancers, I think with a 1-1 count, straight into the glove, fouled off. I apologize, that was fouled off and dropped by Miller behind the plate. Lancers have come out hungry and fired up. I think that's, if there's one thing that I liked about Taja's reaction to her home run and to the win yesterday, it wasn't the win. Because, you know, especially with this season, it's not wins and losses. It's the fire that she had in her eyes. And she said, you know, it just took one hit, and it was great to hit a home run. But then, and this is where, you know, she's really the senior leader, everyone else got scoring, and that was great to see. 2-2, swing and a miss there by Philly. Drop ball, fouled off. We'll do it again.
You know, I was just happy to see some of the pictures going around on the LaVille Athletics of the girls celebrating their win, putting up a W in the bus on the way home, and having one of those happy trips home as opposed to the ones they've had the rest of the season. And obviously some of that momentum is carried through to this afternoon with Philly getting another hit.
Straight up and down into shallow center field. Hannah Philly, that'll be a 2-run RBI single. That brings up Tasia Senders to the plate. Philly on the year was batting 200. I'd say it's safe to say she's adding to that number coming into this game. Interesting that Mara Metters isn't playing in the starting lineup this evening, leading the Lancer offense with one of the highest batting averages. Outside, ball one to Boomer. Runner at first for the Lady Lancers. 8-0 in the bottom of the first here at Newton Park on LVH1. Andrea Yowsey on the bump for the Lady Bruins. Gets the sign, delivery, swung hard. There it goes, and that's dangerous, and that's out of here. Tasia Senders, home run number 2 on the year for the Lady Lancers, both off the bat of number 5. 1 run scores ahead of her. It'll be a 2-run dinger for the senior.
And a celebration over at the plate 2 nights in a row. The fireworks are going off. We can add that in later, right?
There you go. 10 runs scored in the first inning. Carissa Foster back at the plate for the Lady Lancers. Cleanup batting, not much to clean up out there after a home run. Popped up, and this will be, ooh.
Oh, what an attempt from their catcher, though.
Nearly into the fence. Great effort there by Cassie Miller. Trying to get it done behind the plate. Couldn't come up with the ball. Foul ball, strike 1.
Yeah, Carissa got an RBI last time. I don't think she's going to be getting one this at-bat, but with the bases just being cleared by Tasia. But
straight up and straight into the hands of the third baseman for the Bethany Bruins. That's Megan Duckworth without number 3, but the damage already done by the Lancer offense. 10 runs scored in the first inning for the LaVille softball team. They lead going into the top of the second. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation and the voice of the 2017 softball season.
At TNA Rigging Incorporated, the staff works hard to ensure that your project is completed safely, on time, and with the least amount of interruption to your production. They aren't interested in only completing one project. Their goal is to build long-lasting relationships with customers. From machinery movement and repair, installation, transportation services, TNA Rigging has been serving Indiana and Michigan for over 10 years. For all your machinery and installation needs, call the crew at TNA Rigging Incorporated at 574-233-3074. TNA Rigging Incorporated, your satisfaction is our success.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass thrown. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
LVH1 is brought to you by the Union North United School Corporation, First Source Bank of La Paz, Indiana, TNA Rigging of Plymouth and South Bend, Indiana. The IHSAA and LaVille Junior Senior High School encourages positive fan interactions from all games throughout the year from all spectators and fans. Let the players play, let the coaches coach, let the officials officiate, and let the spectators be positive. It's a positively good evening to all of you from LVH1 alongside Wayne Thomas, Dennis Feitz, and Zach Dolgus, our student technical director this evening. I'm Matt Florian. Second inning underway. Check swing there. I believe that was called ball one. That'll be Andrea Yausi, the pitcher, at the plate. Cleanup batting. Just the fourth at the plate for Bethany Christian against Hannah Good. 1-1. Watches strike one go by.
Hannah Good's pitching has really started to catch fire this year. She is only a sophomore, but she's really put a lot of time into not just improving her speed, but improving her, that's going to be a hit there, but improving her pitch accuracy, trying to get it across the plate, making them earn their at-base attempts.
Shallow floater into right field. Good on-base hit for Yausi. Courtesy runner coming in. We'll double-check that number in a moment. Most of the ladies here on both teams wearing sweatshirts, or at least the Under Armour under the uniforms. It is, according to Dr. Will Hostrauser at the meteorological desk here at Newton Park, 45 degrees. It's blowing about, we'll call that 10 miles an hour from the west to northwest. Definitely a hitter's wind. And it is a chilly evening for softball, but as always, a beautiful one for any ball game. At the plate, that'll be a pass ball. Runner advances to second. Fifth in the lineup is at the plate. That's Emma Bonetrager for the Bethany Christian Lady Bruins.
It's cold enough the umpires are wearing gloves. One of them's even wearing a ski mask back there. They did not come prepared for spring.
Spring is still struggling to show up here in northern Indiana the last couple of days. I'm going to have to double check to see if Coach Will, off the top of his head, the IHSAA officials here for the game today.
Working the bases, Mr. James Rose.
James Rose working the bases for us.
Behind the plate is.
And behind the plate with a 3-0 delivery. And that'll be Ron.
Not Pam.
Ron.
Does she have a sister?
Ron Pan behind the plate, calling balls and strikes, rounds out our IHSAA officials. Strike one called there. Runner at first and second. This will be a chance for the Lady Lancers defense. See if they can match up to a superb start to this game. 3 up, 3 down from the Lancer defense. 1-1 the count. Here's a delivery from Philly on the way, called strike two.
That was a pretty good pitch from Good, but that was a little outside.
Just a bit outside. Apparently I'm doing the imitations over here. Why, what did I say? I missed something, ladies and gentlemen. They're having a good chuckle down at the end.
You have two things. You said Philly was on the mound, and it's good.
I wondered.
And
swing, chopper, straight over to K9. A quick play back at home. Not going to make it in time. Out number one recorded. That'll bring up, if my count is good, that should be Megan Duckworth at number 15 at the plate. You can double check me, gentlemen, on that one.
You're right on that.
Wow. Do you hear that, Coach Brian Carver? All right, just wanted to make sure we're okay with that.
Ron Mack is behind home plate, though.
Ron Mack. Goodness gracious. I work so hard, ladies and gentlemen, to put on a good show for all of you, and apparently I do too good of a job sometimes.
Yes, you do, Groucho.
Good, good, good. But I've got the power. I can mute one or both of them if need be. Delivery from Good, who is on the bump. Quick toss there. Safe. Tasia Senders getting ambitious, making sure base runner at third base for Bethany Christian stays honest. Good, solid defense there as well from Hannah Philly being right there to catch and attempt the tag, just a little bit behind.
And that was a good attempt over for 33 on third, Hannah Philly, a new position for her. So to come in and right away get a dart thrown at her like that shows she might be prepared for it already.
3-0, hitters count. Another quick toss. Nope, she thought about it. Base on balls, that'll be, I believe, Dennis can back me up on this, second base conceded by the Lancers this evening, both in the second inning. It is 10-1 in favor of the Lady Lancers over Bethany Christian. Tasia Senders, boy howdy, she took a quick look both at first base and third base, and runners at the corner for Bethany Christian. She'll call a quick timeout. Looks like she's got something in her eye to deal with. The wind has been pretty vicious. And I know she does wear contacts during games. Sometimes that's a good call, sometimes it's not. But it's just, I think it's just simply the cold. The cold that's affecting everybody. Except us in the heated press box. I like to empathize with the people that we're broadcasting about and the broadcasting to. 1-0.
I feel their pain, not literally, but a little bit. I know what it's like.
2-0. Hannah Goods had a little bit of a struggle this inning trying to find the strike zone.
Yeah, she's thrown a few more pitches than she did in that first inning.
Quick toss over to third again, not going to be in time.
But Hannah is not releasing that tag either. She held the ball to her until she was able to stand up.
Till the umpire called time. That is James Rose at working the diamond this evening for our IHSAA crew. 2-1, 1 out, 10-1 in favor of the Lancers. It's the little things that I don't realize because I was never talented enough to play catcher. But little things like Tasia, what she does with standing up and aggressively moving back towards the bump, even if it's just staring down first and third in the dirt, ball 3. No, I'm sorry, that was ball 4. And another base on balls. And we're gonna have a quick conversation between Coach Dave Herbster and the infield. But it's little things like just the stand up and the quick jump forward from Tasia Senders. That's, I mean, you think about it, that's the last 4 pitches where she's popped up pretty quick just to keep the runners going. And a couple of those times she's thrown down to third base. So, I mean, just the conditioning of being able to pop and start looking for the play. Some of the things that we don't always appreciate about the hard work these ladies put in on the season.
I appreciate it. I don't get up that quick.
There you are. No lineup change, no defensive position change, just a quick conversation on the bump. Infield's going to play in close, force out everywhere, 1 out on the scoreboard, top of the second inning. Lancers have a 9-run lead after a 10-run first inning. Here on LVH1, Wayne Thomas to my right working the scoreboard. Quick chopper there. That'll be into shallow right field. Madison Annis will get it to the cutoff. Alexis Wilfing at second base. 1 run is conceded, but the runners stay ever. So that's a RBI single for Melina Liris. And we're back to the top of the order for the Lady Bruins. Cassie Miller at the plate. Catcher for Bethany Christian this evening. There's another dangerous one. This will be straight down the first base line into dangerous territory. Hefty lefty. That'll be an RBI, 2 RBI double for Cassie Miller. So 2 quick hits, 2 quick runs scored, 4-10. after a 10-0 top of the second. 4 runs scored by Bethany Christian here with 1 out on the board. Runners at second and third. That's Lyris and Miller on the bases for Bethany Christian. Jaden Kaufman at the plate for the Lady Bruins.
The Bruins are trying to answer that opening salvo from our Lancers with a little bit of offense on their own.
Quick toss over, not going to be a play at second, though. I don't think she was meaning to lay down a bunt, but that's how it acted going down the third base line. And once again, the bases are loaded.
And she doesn't seem to be that upset about getting on base. She's not asking for a mulligan.
Hannah Goods chased that one down, toss it over to Carissa Foster at first base. Second base is unattended. This is going to be dangerous. Hefty lefty coming in. Can't make the play. This is going to drop. This is going to be 1 run scored. Force out at second. And this is going to be a no play made at home. 2 runs will score there. Cameron Gorka looked like she was trying to call timeout or at least get untangled from the runner at second base. Couldn't do so in time, so another 2 runs scored. That's the we'll charge that error to Madison Annis in right field there, and I know that'll immediately start the debate on either side of me. Zach Dolgus working the VMix as our technical director. Play at second. This is going to be off the mark. Alexis Wilfing can't get to it. Great, great toss over from Tasia Senders. Wilfing just can't scoop it up. Throw was well ahead of the base runner.
I'll call that one an error. The one before that, I had that marked as a single.
That was going to be, I was perfectly happy to concede. That would have been some debate.
But that was no debate. That is an out at first.
4-3, the final out, but 6 runs scored by Bethany Christian. They've brought their own bats. The Lancers had 10 in the first. Bethany Christian has 6 in the top of the second. We go to the bottom frame here at Newton Park on LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation and the voice of the 2017 softball season.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of LaVille Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
LVH1 is seeking donors and advertisers for the 2017-2018 sports seasons. If you or someone you know is interested in supporting the broadcasting capabilities of LaVille Junior Senior High School, as well as giving incomparable skills and life experiences to young students grades 7 through 12, please email us at broadcasting@unorth.k12.in.us. Celeste Fights lays down a beautiful third baseline bunt. Safe at first. First baseman for the Lady Bruins, Bailey Hanton, came off the bag, so she could not apply the force out. Celeste Fice safe at first. Number 25, Madison Annis, 6th in the lineup for the Lady Lancers at the plate. I'm Matt Florian, alongside Wayne Thomas, doing color commentary and scoreboard as usual. Quick swatter there down to the second base player for the Lady Bruins. 4-3. Jaden Kaufman to Bailey Hanton, out number 1, bottom of the second. It's a 10-6 lead that the Lady Lancers have against the Lady Bruins. Alexis Wilfing at the plate. Celeste Fights on second.
That's right. After scoring 10 runs in the first, they gave up 6 in the second. They had their victory speech already written. They're going to have to work for it a little bit harder. Can't fall asleep on these Bruins.
Bethany Christian coming into this game, we'll double check that. 1-7. Lancers are 2-9. Quick look over at second. Out number 2. This will be safe at third. Celeste Fights made an aggressive move towards third, then looked back towards second when she was stared down by the third baseman, Megan Duckworth. Duckworth throws over to first base. So it's a 5-3 for out number 2. Straight up and straight into the hands of the third baseman. How about that for a web gem for the Bethany Bruins? Quick bottom of the second. Lancers can't put anything on the board. They've got 10. Bethany Christian has 6. We go to the top of the third here on LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation and the voice of the 2017 softball season.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of LaVille Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Welcome back to Newton Park. Top of the third inning between the Lady Lancers of LaVille Junior Senior High School and the Lady Bruins of Bethany Christian. At the plate for Bethany Christian to get the top of the third going, number 2, Emma Boontrager, takes ball high, and that'll be ball 2. A little bit of a debate, a little bit of a funny moment in between innings. Carissa Foster ran out, ball 3 inside. K9 ran out to the bump, picked up the ball, and we all just kind of looked at each other. That would have been the first time that K9 has pitched, I think, ever, or at least in the few years I've been following. Here's delivery, called, ball 4. That was a
close one, but
close one, a little bit high, but base on balls. Can't defend against that. And the Bruins already have one aboard. And I'm going to double check myself. Dennis, was that Duckworth at the plate or was that Boontrager?
That was Boontrager.
Okay, so that means Brooke Reinhardt is at the plate for Bethany Christian. After a 6-run second inning for the Lady Bruins, they've cut the lead that the Lancers have built into 4 runs. 2 balls. And unless I'm seriously mistaken, that's the 6th ball in the row for Hannah Good.
And that's going to bring the whole infield in to give her a little bit of a pep talk. She had a stellar first inning. No reason to give it up here.
She put together a good pitching effort in the first inning, backed up by some good defense, both of which I think the Lancers just need a quick settle down and talk to with each other for the infield. Smiling faces coming away after that huddle breaks on the bump. Reinhardt at the plate. On the year, the junior batting .400 for Bethany Christian. Runner at first base. That's Boontrager aboard. Here's delivery from Good on the way. In the dirt. Ball 2. 3, pardon me. That's my fault, not the scorekeeper's fault this time anyway.
Yeah, we had somebody opening the door down there. They're letting out all of our heat. We are going to feel their pain pretty soon.
Quick chopper here, tag one. Can't get the first base play.
But they got the leadoff runner, so.
Stays a runner at first base. And for those that know more about it, Mr. Thomas and Mr. Fights, is that a fielder's choice? How do we score that one?
Yes, it is.
I would call that we would say 5 unassisted. No, 4 unassisted, pardon me.
Yes, and then she tried to go for the double play, but just one step too late.
Alexis Wilfing doing a fine job there at second base. Tasia Senders, quick step and a look down to first base where Reinhardt is aboard. Megan Duckworth at the plate for the Lady Bruins. She's got 0-1 against her. Here's delivery from Good. High. Ball one. Quick toss there.
Tasia just keeping him honest a little bit.
And I think Alexis Wilfing is going to be looking for that play, too. I mean, she knows that it was a good throw from Tasia. She's got to come up with that tag, especially when it's 2 or 3 steps ahead, as we saw that play. Swing and a miss there. Another quick toss, and this is going to be dangerous all the way into right field. Madison Annis having to come and cover after K9 can't make the catch at first base. Runner advances to second. 1-2, the count, 1 out. Top of the third. Bruins trail the Lancers. The score is 10-6 here at Newton Park. Lights have not yet come on. It is overcast. Weather when we started this game was about 48 degrees. Wind coming out of the west. It has now calmed down considerably. Swing and a miss. That's a K.
That's the first one of the night for Hannah.
That'll bring up Abby Hostetler, batter number 8 in the lineup for the Bethany Bruins. The senior's batting low this year. She's only got 167 according to MaxPreps.com. 3 hits and 18 at-bats this season through 8 games played. Bethany Christian as a team is batting .300 and has an on-base percentage just shy of .400. So I think it's a lot of the same struggles for the Bruins that we've seen from the Lancers. A lot of just
getting all those hits to line up.
Exactly. Getting the defense to stand and keeping a good eye on the entire game, not just inning by inning. 3-0 is the count to Hostetler. She's got a runner at second base, 2 outs, top of the third. Lancers have kept the Bruins scoreless so far in this frame.
We've got a free base over on first, but that doesn't mean we want to just hand it to them either.
Hostetler watches strike 1 go by. Wind up, delivery, swung. This will be playable. K9 underneath it, in foul territory, out number 3. We go to the bottom of the third. The Lancers lead the Lady Bruins of Bethany Christian 10-6. Lancers will look to add to that in the bottom of the third here on LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation and the voice of the 2017 softball season.
Introducing TNA Rigging Incorporated. Since 2005, we have been the premier machinery moving company for Lakeville and the surrounding areas. Our experts specialize in moving heavy equipment and machinery. We can also install, repair, and offer precision alignment for your machines. We can help with crane services and steel fabrication in-shop or on-site. For more info, visit tarigging.com or call 574-233-3074.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
LVH1 is brought to you by the Union North United School Corporation, First Source Bank of La Paz, Indiana, and TNA Rigging of Plymouth and South Bend, Indiana. This broadcast is for the exclusive use of our fans and families in the Union North United School Corporation athletic family. Any rebroadcast or duplication of this transmission without the written consent of LVH1 is prohibited. Alongside Wayne Thomas, Dennis Feitz, and Zach Dolgus, welcome aboard. First up and into left field, that's number 4, Carissa Wise, bottom of the order for the Lady Lancers.
The standing double, so good on the sophomore.
Good start here in the bottom of the third. Lancers went scoreless in the second inning. A very quick bottom frame after a 6-run second for the Bethany Bruins. Top of the order now, Cameron Gorka at the plate. She's got a runner aboard at second. I'm Matt Florian. Very happy you're here with us on LVH1 Live. Quick bunt laid down. This will go straight back to the pitcher. Play at first, going to be out. Number 1. 1-3 for the Lady Bruins. Yowzy to Hanton. Runner in scoring position, however, for the Lady Lancers. Hannah Philly at the plate. Number 33, actually, Hannah Philly at the plate.
The real Hannah Philly.
Indeed, yes. Swing and a miss there. Pass ball. But Carissa Wise will stay right where she's at.
Who's taking gate for that Queen Diamonds?
0-1 to Philly
I'll see if I can get somebody.
from Yowzy. Quick foul there. In and out of the hands of the first baseman, who eventually has to scoop it up and apply the tag at the bag. Out number 2. We'll call that a sacrifice RBI.
No, but that's why I don't like the sacrifice stat at all. They're not trying to hit it to left field. They're trying to hit it out of the park. If there's the runners on first, it doesn't count as a sacrifice. You do the same thing with someone on third. That's a sacrifice hit.
See, you don't understand. I like saying obscure baseball things to encourage the debate between Dennis and yourself.
I agree.
As it stands,
I
there
agree
you
with
go.
him on
See?
that one. I mean, it's a sacrifice.
Tasia Sanders at the plate for the Lady Lancers.
It's only a sacrifice if you advance the runners.
Runner did indeed advance. We'll call that it's out number 2, and I think that's a quick one there. Nearly watched it go by. It's dribbler straight back to the pitcher. Out number 3. Tasia Sanders wanted a lot more than she got out of that ball. We go to the top of the 4th inning. The Lady Lancers added 1. They lead 11-6. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation and the voice of the 2017 softball season.
Hey Lancer fans, advertising spots are available today with LVH1. Advertising with LVH1 at LaVille Junior Senior High School gives your business publicity with high school parents, fans, and families throughout the state of Indiana and beyond.
Advertisements can be provided by your business or made in-house by our mass media class at the high school.
All the funding goes directly to the student program and will help us gain hands-on experience in the broadcasting, video editing, and marketing fields.
If you're interested in advertising during athletic events throughout the year, please contact the broadcasting program at broadcasting@unorth.k12.in.us or call us at 574-784-3151.
Advertise today with LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of LaVille Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Indiana. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
At TNA.
Welcome back to the bottom of the fourth inning. Bottom of the order for the Lady Bruins. Swing and a miss there from number 11, Melina Liris. Lady Bruins down 6-11 against the Lady Lancers. 0-1 the count to the left fielder. Swing there, goes foul on the first base side. 0-2.
These are two teams that on paper really looked like they matched up pretty well, and so far it's been a pretty fun game to watch. Both just moving their chess pieces around, and both of them came out with their bats swinging today.
Alexis Wilfing, toss over to first base. 4-3, out number 1. Top of the fourth inning. The score here is 11-6 in favor of LaVille. I'd update you on other scores from around the area, but just about the only one I've seen so far is Rochester and Maconaquah. I'm going to have to double-check that.
Get the debate started on that one.
Yeah,
too.
here we go. I am the great communicator, Mr. Thomas. Rochester and Maconaquah, top of the fifth, tied at 7 in that softball game. Elsewhere, and that's, I'll tell you what, that's very interesting because just a few minutes before that, that was clearly the bottom of the fourth inning that Rochester came alive. At the top of the fourth inning, it was 6-1 in favor of Maconaquah. That's from Valtsoris. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, from the Rochester Sentinel, the sports editor down there. Does fine work in the dirt. Ball 3. It's the top of the order for the Lady Bruins. Cassie Miller at the plate. No one aboard, 1 out.
Looks like Hannah Good's struggles from the third inning have carried through a little bit, but she was able to get out of it. We only had 4 batters come up in what was really not her best pitching performance this season. The team rallying around her. And
ball 4 from Hannah Good. Runner aboard, and that'll bring up Jaden Kaufman coming into this game. Kaufman was batting .286. Freshman doing work offensively for the Lady Bruins. 1 out, 11-6 in favor of LaVille. Here's delivery. Runner goes, and that's a good call. Tasia can't hang on to the ball, can't make the play. Runner will advance to second. I think that's another thing that we mentioned, just Tasia would find the ball and quick fire to second, I think, earlier this year and even last year. The hanging on to it, conceding the base, and going back to work defensively there. Ooh, my. Close.
that was a hard call for the umpire. Hard call for him.
2-0 the count. Kaufman at the plate. A little bit of debate here in the dome at Newton Park outside. No question about that. That's ball 3.
That one was not as hard.
Just about all the other scores that I would update you folks on throughout the area are canceled or postponed due to the cold weather. Ball 4, Kaufman will advance to first. Runners at first and second. Bailey Hanton coming to the plate for the Bethany Christian Lady Bruins.
That's 2 straight walks. That is not how you wanted to start the fourth inning.
So 1 out here.
She needs to just focus again on getting it over the plate.
That's not going to be what she wants. That'll be all the way to the fence in center field. 1 run's going to score. They will hold the runners at first and second. Good effort there by Carissa Wise in center field to get all the way to the fence, scoop, and throw it to the cutoff at Alexis Wilfing at second base. But 1 run scores, and the lead for the Lancers is cut back down to 4. Yowzy at the plate. Andrea Yowzy, who is batting as a freshman, batting .467 coming into this game. 1-0 the count.
We've got Carissa Wise out there in center. She started the season out in the corners. She was either left or right, depending on where Annis was at during the game. And now she's taking over one of those leadership roles, center field.
Fouled off and out of play down the first base side.
So there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve with her out there, but you can already see she's backed up a little bit further now, figuring out where her best stance is.
Delivery in the dirt halfway to the plate. Tasia Sanders has to scramble to scoop. 2-1. Hannah Good on the year. I'll pull up her card in just a moment. She has a 2-1 delivery. Inside, called ball 3. 3-1 is the count. Delivery outside, but called strike 2.
It's cold out.
It is cold out. Full count now.
And you got
to Andrea.
As cold as it is, Hannah Good's control seems to be diminishing a little bit. That's another walk. That's a third one this inning.
Yowzy will get a courtesy runner at first base. And it looks like we're going to make a change. Celeste Fights is running to the dugout. Looks like she's going to grab her mask, and she will go to work on the bump. Hannah Good will
get a pat on the back from coach, and
she'll take a walk to the dugout. Celeste Fights will warm up. We'll keep her right here just a moment while she gets going. Replacing Celeste out in left field. I'll have to double check that number out there of someone whose eyes are better than mine.
That's Wilting.
I want to say that is number 1, and that would be McKenna Lewis at the left field position defensively for the Lady Lancers. Checking the weather, it is 44 degrees right now if weather.com for LaVille, the Lakeville and La Paz areas to be believed, which is easily 20 degrees cooler than it should be this time of year in northern Indiana. So, I mean, like you said, Mr. Thomas, the control from the pitchers is just, you have to compensate for that, and you have to work around it as best you can under the conditions.
Yeah, I mean, the umpires are out here. They're even wearing gloves. You start to get those fingertips a little bit colder. It's hard to control the ball quite as well.
Top of the 4th inning, 1 out. It's 11-7 in favor of the Lady Lancers over the Lady Bruins of Bethany Christian. Bases loaded. And this isn't the first time that Celeste Fights has been in this kind of situation where she's come in working behind the 8 ball defensively. Here's delivery number 1. Chopper fouled. Good job there.
Another chopper
by Hannah Philly, and that was a chopper down the third base line. But good effort by number 33 at third base to chase it down. And again, infield's playing in. We'll see whether or not that'll pay off. Popped up. This will be dangerous. Into center field. No one there to make the play. No one there to cover second. A little bit of a defensive breakdown. And again, something we talked about during the last break between Coach Will, Coach Brian, myself, Matt Florian, and Wayne Thomas. And now it looks like it's going to be a quick conversation and maybe a heated conversation between
infield fly rule.
Yeah. Now we can't hear what the conversation is between Coach Troy Barber for the Bethany Christian Bruins. Ron Mack behind the plate. Let him vent, basically, from what we can look and see. Basically let him vent and said that was that. You got the run. You cut the lead into 3. 11-8 is the score. Lancers. Now time here called. We're not sure. No, it looks like they're warning not the players about conduct, but it looks like some of the Bethany Christian players may have had equipment outside the dugout. Delivery from Fights, strike one.
Did I miss an out?
I think that was the call there. It was infield fly at first, or because I had thought I wasn't sure if the runner made all the way to second base. Dennis is going to have to come in and check here. Quick toss by Tasia to third base. 0-2 from Celeste Fights. Runners at second and third, and we'll have to reset and take a look at our collective score sheets. I think that may have led to Coach Troy's debate and argument. Was that an infield fly? And this is going to be dangerous into center field. The infield playing in. There's the plate. Boy. Good effort indeed. Runner nearly misses. Has to scramble back. Lancers concede 2 runs, and suddenly it's a 1-run lead for the Lancers, who at the end of the first led by 10. 2 outs. And at the plate for the Bethany Bruins, number 24. That'll be a sub in for the Lady Bruins. I'll double check that. That is not on our roster. So that is Kern, number 24, at the plate for the Lady Bruins.
Going back to that infield fly.
Yeah, let's get some explanation.
I believe the coach was upset because sometimes even in the big leagues, you see an infield fly called in the shallow outfield, and it was never indicated before the ball hit the dirt. And in a scenario like that, runners run at their own peril with less than 2 outs, which there was only 1 at the time of the infield fly. And I think that's why the coach got so frustrated.
Down to third base. Quick toss, and that's the end of the top of the 4th. 3 outs. Damage done by the Lady Bruins. And shades of the Atlanta Braves game just a few years ago with the infield fly debate there. The score is 11-10 in favor of the Lady Lancers. They're up at bat next here on LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics and the voice of the 2017 softball season.
At TNA Rigging Incorporated, the staff works hard to ensure that your project is completed safely, on time, and with the least amount of interruption to your production. They aren't interested in only completing one project. Their goal is to build long-lasting relationships with customers. From machinery movement and repair, installation, transportation services, TNA Rigging has been serving Indiana and Michigan for over 10 years. For all your machinery and installation needs, call the crew at TNA Rigging Incorporated at 574-233-3074. TNA Rigging Incorporated, your satisfaction is our success.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass thrown. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Updating you on LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation, updating you on an HNAC score. Winnemac leads Knox 4-1 all the way to the center field fence. Carissa Foster takes a stand-up double.
She did not take long for that one either. She saw that pitch and she was ready to go.
She was ready to go as soon as it left the hands of Andrea Yowsey, still on the bump for the Lady Bruins. Welcome aboard alongside Wayne Thomas. Dennis Fights working video. Zach Dolgus, our student technical director. I'm Matt Florian. Very happy you're with us here on LVH1 this evening at Newton Park. Swing there and a chopper, and here's another one from Celeste Fights this time. Runners will be at the corner. Celeste, quick toss over to second. This is going to be close, but not in time. Good heads-up play there by Celeste. She saw that Melina Liris in left field kind of fell asleep after she made the play, scooped, and then just kind of, took her time getting it back to the infield. Celeste said, all right, I'll take second base then. So it turns into, and this is where the debate starts, Mr. Thomas, Do we call that a double, or do we call that something else? Doctor of useless baseball and softball knowledge, Dennis. Here's a pass ball. This will be a play for K9 at the plate. Safe. Can't hang on to it. Celeste Fights takes 2 steps towards home and then pulls it right back. Madison Annis, great heads-up job getting out of the way of K9, who came in hot.
I think we call it a run. That's what we're going to go with.
We're going to go with a run then. 12-10 in favor of the Lady Lancers after quick 1-2 hit. We are right now, that's the cleanup, Carissa Foster, 5th in the lineup, Fights, and now Hefty Lefty at the plate, 6th in the batting lineup for the Lady Lancers. 1 strike still.
And Lefty's got a runner in scoring position to capitalize on. And she's already got 1 RBI on the night, so I'm sure she'd like to add to her season total.
Swing and fouled, third base side.
And this is Coach Carver's favorite player. He's actually at home. He's been making her trading cards already. So
trading cards and posters, and she did. Pointed out so astutely. Second half of the season, Coach, she really just lit it up. She ended up with, she is right now 286 on this season, 21 at-bats, 2 runs off of 6 hits, and 7 RBIs for the lefty.
8 now. She added 1 tonight.
That is true. Swing hard. There's something in the left field. Straight up, straight down. Celeste Fights was already about halfway down to home and didn't have the time to run back and tag. And I know that's going to be there's extreme, shall we say, consternation from the football staff here at the Dome. But I know that one of the things that she was worried about was going into this game and going in through the whole season was her legs and how they have been, I don't want to say she's been babying them, but she has been working. She's been working to try and take care of them.
With no outs, she played conservative, so.
Alexis Wilfing, 7th in the lineup at the plate. Runner in scoring position, 1 out. 1-0 the count. In the dirt, Celeste Fights took a couple of steps. Coach Will, ever the football coach, ever the football person, I guess you could say. I'm not going to. Got to be aggressive, the man says. Swing and a miss there. 2-1 is the count to Wilfing. Madison last year talking about the lefty. See if we can go back. There's a hit from Alexis Wilfing. This will be dangerous if it drops, and it does, but into the hands of the center fielder. Now Alexis will tag up. 1 run will score, 2 outs.
And I think Fights just got a run.
She did indeed. Madison Annis and Wilfing. Now, I'm not going to say anything about what kind of hit that was.
That's a sacrifice.
That's a sacrifice.
Oh, are we sure about that?
Yes.
Sacrifice fly out to center for Wilfing. Drives home, Celeste Fights. Hannah Good now at the plate. And it is getting a little bit swing there. That's a chopper down the third baseline. High, but in time. 5-3 for out number 3. We go to the top of the 5th. The Lancers hang on to a 3-run lead. 13-10 is the score over the Lady Bruins. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics and the voice of the 2017 football and softball seasons.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of LaVille Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
LVH1 is brought to you by the Union North United School Corporation, First Source Bank of La Paz, Indiana, and TNA Rigging of Plymouth and South Bend, Indiana. Top of the fifth inning, the Lancers lead the Bruins of Bethany Christian 13-10. Wayne Thomas, Dennis Feitz, Zach Dolgus, and yours truly, Matt Florian. Very happy you're aboard on LVH1's live presentation of softball from Newton Park. 1-1 is the count. Celeste Feitz on the bump. She's facing, and I'm going to have to double-check this from Dennis and from Mr. Thomas. I believe that's Lyris at the plate. Feel free to correct me. Hostetler. She's got a quick toss from the second. No, that's shortstop. That is Cameron Gorka, 6'3". Good stretch there by K9 to make the play, and a good toss after a good scoop. Good all around. One up, one down from Hostetler, and now this is Lyris at the plate. Bottom of the order for the Lady Bruins. Inside, called strike one.
I'm going to have to check my scorecard. I've been agreeing with Dennis a little bit tonight.
A little bit more so than usual, perhaps.
Coach Dunlap, I can't call it my playing days, my bench days. Coach Dunlap taught me how to keep score. Should be a little disappointed, maybe. At home yelling at me.
1-1 from Celeste.
Yeah, sometimes as teenagers we take the role of coach for granted a little bit, but I think a lot of my love from baseball comes from the time that I spent not being good, sitting on the bench listening to my coaches discuss what goes into a game, how to keep score for a game and line score, and my coaches that year really had a big impact on how I watched today.
Well, when I was a young teenager, my father volunteered me to coach softball. So
that was 2 years ago, Dennis.
About 7.
Lyris at the plate. She's worked it 3-2. After that strike, she watched a low but called strike 2. Full count to Lyris, bottom of the order. 1 up, 1 down so far for the Lancers. Hostetler grounded into a 6-3. Swing there. This will be straight to Alexis Wolfing at second, over to K9 at first. 4-3, out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for the Lady Lancers. Top of the fifth inning, and there, Celeste Feitz, ever the leader on the bump. She came in relief of Hannah Good, who started this game. Had a quick chat over with Alexis, just quick words of encouragement as she faces the top of the order now for the Lady Bruins. Cassie Miller, the Bethany Christian catcher this evening at the plate.
And that was a freshman to senior play too, so kind of nice to see on a team like this where you've got the youngest of the players throwing to the more experienced ones and the collaboration that goes into that.
2-0 to Miller. Feitz gets the sign, goes into her windup, delivers, swing, popped up. Madison Annis can't get to it in time. Single for the leadoff hitter. That'll bring up Jaden Kaufman. And another good solid hit.
And for Miller, that's her third time on base tonight.
She was batting .400, the sophomore coming in 27 just before this game this evening. 27 at-bats, 5 runs off 12 hits. Quick play there, not going to be in time. Alexis Wolfing watches Miller collide with her ankles. Ball bounces through Wolfing's hand and glove, but Carissa Wise, after the last play that went awry at second base, she came sprinting in from center field, so the runner stays at second. Good defensive sequence there. for the Lancers. And I think that's just, again, the indication of how this team has grown. You concede the stolen base. You try and throw it down if you've got a really good position, but you got to have players backing up. Tip of the hat to Carissa Wise for doing just that.
You got to learn how to operate at those positions, too. What are you supposed to be doing? When are you supposed to be backing someone up or running in from center? How do you balance that out? We've already had a ball hitter over our head, but we need to back up second base, too. Those are all things that she'll learn through experience.
Kaufman takes base on balls. Celeste Fights passing along instruction to her infield. Runners at first and second for the Lady Bruins. Bailey Hanton at the plate. The junior also batting .400. Watches inside, ball one. As a team, Bethany Christian, again, batting .322 on the year with a on-base percentage before this game started of just under .400. I can only imagine they've added to it this evening. 1-1 as Hanton watches strike one go by from Celeste Fights.
The Lady Lancers really got to buckle down here. We've got 2 outs. There's no reason to give up a run. We got the first 2 batters out to start the inning. And
shallow into left field. Runner will go to, now it looks like there's going to be a chance for a plate. Nope, the ball will rattle all the way around the backstop. Kenna Lewis in left field tried to get it all the way to the plate, but was badly off the mark. Tasia Senders had to chase it down almost directly behind the plate is where the ball ended up against the backstop. Runners advance to second and third. Run scores. 13-11 is the score with 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning. 2 outs. 13-11 is the score. We had a quick call of time. Hefty lefty Madison Annis in right field had to retrieve and toss out an errant baseball from the diamond immediately to the west of the yellow field here at Newton Park.
yeah, it might be a little cold out, but it's still a good night. We've got a team playing in the opposite diamond. We've got another team warming up to play another game. It's an active night of baseball and softball.
Quick toss there over to third from Tasia. Hannah Philly there, just keeping the runner honest. Runners at second and third. Scoring position, a chance to tie the game for the Bethany Bruins. 2 outs, 2-0 the count. Delivery from Fights high, that'll be ball 3. Another quick toss, and this will be off the bag into the chest of the Lancer third baseman, Hannah Philly. Good job corralling that throw from Tasia Senders to keep from going into left field and allowing a run to score. Called ball 4. Celeste Fights and Tasia look like they were not too thrilled with that call, but they've loaded up the bases once again. Timeout here might be worth calling. 2 outs, a force call or a force out anywhere. Here's delivery from Fights. Yowsi at the plate for the Bethany Christian Bruins. The freshman batting in the cleanup position. And I'm going to check that name. As we mentioned earlier, a lot of the girls, that's going to be outside. Great job by Tasia Senders getting behind that one. That was well off the mark. 2-0 is the count.
1-1. He called the first pitch a strike.
Our scorekeeper's falling a little behind already.
And I've been corrected as Boontrager at the plate for Bethany Christian. Quick toss off the mark. And there's a lot of disagreement up here in the dome. But I think the call by the official on the bases was that K9 came off the base. So the Lancers concede a run. It's an RBI single for Boontrager. 2 outs, and the Lancers have allowed the Bruins to come back within a run. Here's the delivery from Fights at the plate. You've got Reinhardt. Now we're getting into the challenging part of this order for the Bethany Bruins. Reinhardt's batting .400. Boontrager's batting .471. Yowsi is batting 467. Power hitters in the middle of the order for the Lady Bruins. They've got runners everywhere with 2-0 from Celeste Fights. 2 outs. All this has taken place with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Outside, Tasia Senders takes steps towards the bump as usual, but she's got runners just about everywhere, and the last thing that they want to do right now is advance another runner home, bring the tying run home on a walk. Delivery from Fights on the way.
That's what they did.
That is exactly what happened. Base on balls. It's a tie ball game here in the 5th inning.
That's going to bring Duckworth up to bat.
Kern was subbed in for Duckworth in the 4th inning.
Inside, ball 1, nearly at the feet of Kern.
Yeah, you could hear a little bit of questioning. It didn't look like the original Duckworth I'd seen, but
again, a lot of the players on both sides wearing their sweatshirts and overcoats, or not overcoats, but the windbreakers in the cold weather, especially in the batting order. 1-1 is the count, 2 outs. Delivery from Fights. Inside, this is going to be a pass ball, but runners will stay put. Good shift by the infield to try and make sure everything is covered. Celeste Fights came towards home plate. K9 came toward the bump. Tasia chased down the ball, 2-1. Fights gets the sign, gives her delivery. 3-1.
yeah, she's got to tie this back down, end out this inning. She started really strong, got those first 2 batters out, and then the next 4 were not quite as good.
On the way, outside, that'll be another, and that's the
free run.
Go-ahead run. And it looks like Coach Herbster is going to have another quick conversation and perhaps a substitution here. We're going to take a moment. We will step aside as well. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation, and the voice of the 2017 softball season.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of LaVille Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
No position change after the conference. Top of the 5th inning, pardon me. Bottom of the order, Hostetler, the 8, and then the 9, Melina Liris in the on-deck warm-up circle. Top of the 5th inning, 2 outs. Lancers have conceded 3 runs with 2 outs on the board here at Newton Park. 4 runs, pardon me. Thank you, Dennis. Celeste Fights, quick play there, over to shortstop, quick toss over to third, and that will do it for the top of the frame. But the Lady Bruins take the lead from the Lady Lancers. It's 14-3 in favor of Bethany Christian going to the bottom of the 5th. Lancers have work to do on offense. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation and the voice of the 2017 softball season.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Introducing TNA Rigging Incorporated. Since 2005, we have been the premier machinery moving company for Lakeville and the surrounding areas. Our experts specialize in moving heavy equipment and machinery. We can also install, repair, and offer precision alignment for your machines. We can help with crane services and steel fabrication in-shop or on-site. For more info, visit tarigging.com or call 574-233-3074.
There's just
Bottom of the fifth inning, the Lancers trailed the Lady Bruins after a 4-run top of the fifth. The Bruins took the lead from the Lancers. At the plate for LaVille in the bottom of the fifth inning. Watches ball one go by her. That is Carissa Wise, bottom of the order. Cameron Gorka in the on-deck warm-up circle. Wayne Thomas to my right. Dennis Feitz to my left. Zach Dolgus a little bit further to the left. I'm Matt Florian. Happy to be here in the middle with you on a blustery and cool Tuesday evening from Newton Park. Lights have not yet come on here at the yellow field in Lakeville, Indiana. 1-1 is the count to Wise. Swing, and that's popped up, and this is going to be dangerous. Calling for it is the third baseman. That is an out. Megan Duckworth out number one. And the Lancers need to get some offense going to stay in this game. Cameron Gorka is at the plate. She'll be followed by Philly and Senders. The heart of the batting order for the Lady Lancers. They're down by 1 after leading as much as 10. They had a 10-run first inning, followed by a 6-run second inning for the Lady Bruins, to which the Lancers were not able to respond.
When you need runs, I can't think of anyone better to bring on than Gorka, Philly, and Sunders. It's a good combo right there to bring them back up for us.
1-0 the count to Gorka. Shortstop's already had some good defensive plays. Need to get some Lancers going, or some Lancer bats going in the bottom of these innings. 3-0 the count from Gorka. They'll take free bases as well, but they need runs on top of that. That is still Andrea Yowzy at the plate. Outside, that's outside, and that's ball 4. That's base on balls from Gorka. That'll bring up Philly. That'll bring up Senders after her. Foster will be the cleanup batter if we get to her, and hopefully we will here in the bottom of the fifth inning with 1 out.
So this brings up Philly. She's already got 3 RBIs tonight. Now she's got a chance to get on base again, increase some of her.
Called strike 1. Philly watches the first pitch go by from Yowzy.
She's got a chance to increase some of her season totals here, adding to what's already been a pretty good game by all accounts.
Swing, chopper. This will be straight over to the first baseman. She tries for the second, and then just a quick toss to the pitcher. Yowzy is coming off of a 12-3 win against Glenn, in which she gave up only 3 earned runs. So she's already, she's coming off a hot game like the Lancers are coming up off of a hot game against Culver Community yesterday in Culver, Indiana. 0-1 to Tasia. Runner at second, that's Cameron Gorka, and Tasia would love nothing better than to send it yard, and might do it. This will be up, and this will drop into the left field. Off the left field glove, that'll go into center field. That'll be an RBI double, stand-up double for Tasia Senders, exactly what the Lancers needed. Tie ball game once again, 14-14 in the bottom of the fifth inning with 2 outs.
And for our fans at home, this is not a football game, regardless of what the score says. This is just 2 teams really swinging good bats and getting on base. A lot of discipline going in tonight onto their pitches they're taking. And
really good effort so far. Canine watches ball 1 go by. Interesting call here that they haven't subbed out Tasia Senders at second for Nina Sadak. And that's one of the I think this is just about the first time in the last 2 years, and Coach Bryan can correct me. I think this is just about the first time in the last 2 years that I've seen Tasia stay on base. She's been holding down the catching position for as long as I've been at LaVille, and this is the first time I've seen her at home. First time I've seen her with the on base, with running on the same base that she has earned. Usually they sub in Nina Sadak as quick as they can. Not tonight. 3-0 to
But after
K9.
that last double that Carissa hit, that was a no-doubter to bring anyone in from second base, and she takes a walk now.
Celeste fights at the plate, 2 outs, and I think Coach Will said it best. Look for a collision at home if Tasia gets even close. Good. We'll not open that one up for debate. Runners at first and second. Celeste fights. Watches strike one go by, and that's about as good as a pitch as you'll see.
Tasia usually is subbed out, especially that when there are 2 outs, but I don't know if Coach Herbster wanted her out there because of her knowledge, just vast knowledge of the game. I know she wasn't subbed out for a base runner at Triton and hasn't been in a couple other road games, but usually at home she is subbed out for Nina Sadak while running the bases.
That Yowsey pitch, nearly the same spot, straight down the line, swing and a miss there from Celeste. Nearly the same left and right position, but dropped at the very last minute for ball 1. 1-2 to Celeste. Pitchers count now. Lancers cannot strand 2 after putting 1 run on the board. High over her head. Just a bit outside. Celeste fights, works it to 2-2. Swing and fouled, nearly into the ankle of Coach Sky Metters on first base.
Celeste trying to earn back some of those runs that they'd given up last inning. That was a swing that was going to go straight to the fences. Kill some earthworms on the way, but it was going to the fence.
We'll do it again. 2-2 to Celeste. Runners at first and second. Oh, my. Watches a good hold go by. That's ball 3. She's worked it full. Thought about it. She wanted it, but watched how far it was going to go outside. Here's the money pitch. 2 outs. Full count to Celeste fights. Over the head, and here we go. Loaded bases situation. Ball 4, and that'll bring up hefty lefty Annis, and Coach Brian Carver is just about beside himself here in the dome at Newton Park on LVH1. 14-14 is the score.
I think the only thing Coach Carver could want more is to be the bottom of the 7th.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. Here's a swing, and this is popped up, and this is going to be foul. Just inside the foul line on the first base side.
You can hear the lefty fan section over here.
It's good. Madison Annis nearly gets it. Tip of that also, I got to give a shout out to Savannah Urbanski and Maya Thornton, who are also here with us in the dome, and I think they're enjoying the ridiculousness. This is popped up. This is, oh man, great play there by the pitcher for the Lady Bruins. Andrea Yowsey dives towards home plate, and that'll do it. The Lancers strand 4. I'm sorry, they strand 3. Madison Annis can't get to the RBI section for that inning. We go to the top of the 6th. Still a tie ball game. 14-14 is the score here at Newton Park. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer athletics and the voice of the 2017 softball season.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hey Lancer fans, advertising spots are available today with LVH1. Advertising with LVH1 at LaVille Junior Senior High School gives your business publicity with high school parents, fans, and families throughout the state of Indiana and beyond.
Advertisements can be provided by your business or made in-house by our mass media class at the high school.
All the funding goes directly to the student program and will help us gain hands-on experience in the broadcasting, video editing, and marketing fields.
If you are interested in advertising during athletic events throughout the year, please contact the broadcasting program at broadcasting@unorth.k12.in.us or call us at 574-784-3151.
Advertise today with LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
LVH1 Broadcasting is seeking donors and advertisers for the 2017-18 school year and athletic seasons. If you or someone you know is interested in supporting student broadcasting and giving students at LaVille Junior Senior High School an incomparable life experience through live sports journalism, please get a hold of us at broadcasting@unorth.k12.in.us or call the school office at 574-784-3151. And thank you, as always, for your support of LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation. Celeste fights on the bump. There was some considerable debate and discussion here in the Dome about whether or not she would be subbed out, but she begins the top of the sixth inning on the bump once again. It's a tie ball game, 14-all. Swung hard, and this will be into the right field. Good run there by Madison Annis to get out number one.
The lefty cheer section is on fire again.
Coach Brian Carver, Coach Will Hostrauser are here. We've got the football contingent represented in the Dome at Newton Park. Top of the order, Cassie Miller at the plate for the Lady Bruins. Wayne Thomas working scoreboard. Dennis Feitz working the camera off the rubber at the bump. Good hit into center field for Cassie Miller.
That is the fourth time on base for Cassie Miller. She has had just an outstanding night.
Zach Dolgus is our tech director. I'm Matt Florian. Very happy to have you with us this evening on LVH1. Kaufman at the plate, runner at first, one out, tie ball game. It's a great evening for it. Here's a rundown. Here's a chance off the mark by Tasia, and it will go to third base. And here's a chance for a play. Not gonna hang on to it. Hannah Philly can't get the ball into her glove. The runner advances with two stolen bases, and suddenly the Bethany Bruins have a runner in scoring position here in the top of the sixth. Great throw there, as Coach Brian points out. Good throw by Carissa Wise to chase down the ball that got past Alexis at second base. Carissa Wise with the throw over to third base, and Philly just can't come up with it. 1-0 the count to Bailey Hanton. 2-0, pardon me.
Scorekeeper fell behind again.
That's all right. Rochester and Maconaquah. Rochester has just exploded in the last two innings. 14-7 in the bottom of the seventh inning.
Yeah, that was a really good throw from C-Wise over in center field. A real bullet straight to Hannah Philly. But, yeah, being new to third base, having the reflex know that throw was coming in might have been a little much for her.
3-1 there.
Score guy.
The scoreboard just a little bit off. That was ball 3, not ball 4 like everyone in the ballpark thought. Swing and a miss there. Celeste has worked it full.
Yeah, nobody's asking for the scoreboard guy's autograph at the end of this one.
I might, just to make sure he comes back. 3-2 the count, one out. Runner at third. Delivery from Feitz. Well off the mark, and runners will go to first and third. Yowzy at the plate. Hanton, pardon me. That
Someone's
is
at the plate.
Good. 14-14 is the score. Quick toss. Philly gets it right there, but just keeping Miller on third base. Runners on the corners. 1-0. Outside, this will be a pass ball, and this will be a play at the plate. Not going to be in time and well off the mark. Tasia Senders, just a desperation kind of toss over to Celeste Fights, goes over her head. 1 run scores, and Bethany Christian takes the lead again on a pass ball. Cassie Miller comes in to score. Kaufman goes to second. Bailey Hanton still has 2-0 at the plate for the Lady Bruins. Delivery from Fights, swung, and down the third base line, fouled, out of play. Two and one. And now 3-1. Celeste Fights is, again, the cold. It's gotten cooler here as the evening has come on. Delivery from Fights, swing and a miss there. Drop ball. 3-2.
Some of the lights are starting to come on across the field too, so.
Lights are going on in the field to the west of us. We'll see if we can pay the electrical bill and get the lights on in our field here in the top of the 6th. 15-4 is the score, or 14, pardon me. 15-14. Lancers concede, base on balls. Andrea Yowsey at the plate. Runners at first and second. And this is what has been killing the Lancers this evening is the free bases.
This kind of been just a theme all season. They do really well, but when they make a mistake, they kind of rack them all up. They don't spread their mistakes out throughout the game. They like to get them all done over and once. That's really what's happened these past 2 innings. It's just kind of falling apart with mistake after mistake.
The Lancers have kept it close, but have just conceded runs here and there. They led by 10 at the end of the first after racking up a huge first inning. But since then, it's been a lot of back and forth softball here at Newton Park. Way outside, 2-1. Tasia Senders doing a phenomenal job behind the plate, keeping those softballs in front of her this evening.
Fast fact, between Hannah Good and Celeste Fights, there have been 13 walks.
Not a good stat for the Lancers. Quick chopper straight back to Celeste. Quick toss over to first. 1-3 for out number 2. Runners advance to scoring position. Emma Bontrager at the plate with runners at second and third. 2 outs. Lancers will try and keep from conceding another run. They've allowed the Bethany Lady Bruins to get 1 run in the 6th inning. The score is 15-14. Here's delivery from Fights. Way outside, Tasia Senders. It's going to be a pass ball. Play at the plate. Not going to be in time, and Celeste can't hang on to it. That is the run that they could not afford to concede. Hanton coming in to score. If Dennis wants to double check me on that.
Kaufman.
Kaufman coming in to score, pardon me.
Hanton on third.
Who's on first?
2 outs,
No one
2-0. Popped up, and this will be straight to Celeste. 1 unassisted. Lancers concede 2. We go to the bottom of the frame with LaVille down 2 runs. Looking for the 3rd win of the season. Lancers need to get offense going. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation, the voice of the 2017 softball season.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of LaVille Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Indiana. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, here we go, back in the bottom of the 6th inning of a real nail-biter, 16-14. The visiting team has brought in 16 runs already. We're coming back up to bat now. We've got the wrong scorecard sitting on top, but this should be Alexis Wilfing coming in to lead off the inning. I'm watching the first pitch come by for a ball. Wilfing's been fun to watch. She's been one of the freshmen on the team, bringing in a little bit of that young energy, playing every position like we'd said earlier. She's all over the infield, pitching, just doing whatever the team needs of her.
Yes, doing an excellent job at second base tonight, really contributing.
But both teams have really been fighting this one out. Neither one really willing to concede. Coming back from a 10-run deficit to start the game and now leading by 2.
2-1 is the count to Wilfing.
And she watches ball 3 come across the plate there.
And with that, we will welcome back Mr. Florian, who had to take a quick breather.
Ooh, I get a welcome this time. That's always nice. 3-1 the count. Delivery outside. That'll be ball 4 for Alexis Wilfing. And that's the stat I'm actually most curious about. We heard 13 walks, 13 base on balls for the Lancers. How many base on balls has Bethany Christian conceded? Because I'm willing to bet that both teams have had a pretty rough go at it in terms of conceding free bases this evening.
That was Yuzi's 5th walk of the night, actually.
Wow. Seems like a great deal more. I think that's just the putting things together for the Lancers. A lot of it's just come off of singles and doubles and here and there base hits. Elsewhere in local athletics this evening, Triton leads Caston 8-2 after 4. That's a baseball score. And that's just about the only thing going on. We're looking to see if we can get more updates. But again, a lot of the threat of rain and the cold has kept a lot of teams idle this evening. 3-1 to McKenna Lewis at the plate for the Lady Lancers. She's got Wilfing at first, no outs. Bottom of the 6th, the 2-run deficit to make up. Outside, pass ball. This will be a conceded walk. I was going to say it was going to be a conceded stolen base, but it was obviously called a ball. So the runners will be.
That was a real beauty that she watched in that 4th pitch, but after 7 consecutive pitches outside the strike zone, is it really worth swinging at or trying to get her to throw a second one over the plate? So as a freshman, she went with more of a conservative approach, pitch to me, let's see what you can do, and she earned the walk. She got over to first base. Now we got a lady on first and second, no outs.
Coach Troy Barber for the Bethany Christian Lady Bruins calls a conference. It looks like he's going to make a position change or 2. Andrea Yauzi has pitched throughout this entire game for Bethany Christian. Looks like there's going to be a pretty sizable changeup, it looks like.
No, just a discussion.
Or just, no, I guess the way he was addressing all the players and pointing and directing, it looks like he just wants to, that was just purely infield strategy and defensive strategy, no position changes. So it is Andrea Yauzi still at the plate. She's facing Carissa Wise at the plate for the Lady Lancers. Bottom of the order. And again, pretty good situation for the Lancers to be in if they can hold on with no outs in the bottom of the 6th with the top of the order coming up. Wise watches ball 2 go by inside.
We've seen some really unique deliveries all season this year with the ladies softball. Got a pretty normal delivery tonight, but I think this is the first solely white glove we've seen on the mound. Pretty unique setup she's got there.
2-1. Outside called strike 1.
Kind of a thriller glove she's wearing tonight.
Swing, and that'll be fouled up and back. Wow, great effort there by Cassie Miller. She had it up against the fence but couldn't hang on to it, and it went to the ground. So I think it's safe to say just about everyone here knew that Carissa Wise got away with that one. 2-2.
But Miller has put in an all-star effort tonight behind the plate. She's really been going for some of those foul balls.
Delivery inside. Carissa's worked it full. Runners at first and second. That's Kenna Lewis at first, Alexis Wolfing at second. Lancers have a 2-run deficit to make up. Bottom of the 6th inning, no one out. Delivery. Wow. Outside, but called a ball. That was, you talk about painting the outside of the strike zone, and not in the good way if you're Yowzy on the bump. Top of the order for the Lady Lancers, Gorka, followed by Philly and Senders. Loaded bases, and now the Lancers can go to work. Strike 1 called.
Gorka's another one. She's been on base 3 times tonight. She's already got 2 RBIs herself. I think she would like to add to her total.
There's lots of possibilities just about everywhere. No call there. They are going to punch her out. Quick hesitation there. It looks like there was a little bit of argument there from Coach Dave Herbster on third. Coach Sky Metters, and it looks like both coaches have a quick conversation. And Coach Sky, just shrugged and said, "That may have been the right call," much to Coach Herbster's dismay. But a run scores. The lead is cut to 1. Runners at second and third. Hannah Philly at the plate. And if she can send one to left center field anywhere past the shortstop, it'll be a base hit and probably a 2 RBI situation for Philly.
A lot of open ground.
A lot of open real estate there in left field. Watches ball 2 go by.
1-1 is the count.
There's a whole lot of real estate. Second base, there's a defensive player on either side, and there's something, and there's going to be a tag up at third, and a quick toss over to the home plate.
And the tying run.
The run is in.
With another one of those wonderful sacrifice plays.
Out number 2, and here comes Boomer. Tasia Sender's got a runner at second base. Number 5 would love nothing better than to put the Lancers ahead. 16-16 is the score. Lady Lancers have fought back and tied it up. Inside, ball 1. She's got Carissa Wise at second base. In the dirt before it gets to the base, ball 2. I was going to say there's not many times that I've seen, Coach Will, not many times that I've seen a player not get pitched to. I haven't seen too many either in baseball or softball in the last couple of years. And here, they may not seem like it, but they're not pitching to Tasia. Yowzy isn't pitching aggressively at Tasia the way she was earlier this game. 3-0. Here's delivery. Man.
But they do not have a whole lot of good options either. They just brought Carissa Foster up for free.
K9 at the plate.
Well, Carissa has hit a single and a double, but Tasia having a double and a home run.
And now Nina Sadak will be subbed in. Last time Tasia made it on base, I should say. She stayed in, took her own base running
all the way
responsibilities.
to second base by herself. Yeah.
Nina Sadak at first.
First time up, she made it all the way to
Watches
home by
strike
herself.
one go by. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Lancers have tied it up after being down by 2 at the beginning of this inning. I should say the beginning of this. Swing, popped up, and out of play. Just outside the netting. A couple of souvenirs there for the grounds crews to chase down 0-2 to Canine at the plate. A base hit to just about anywhere shallow right field high, ball 1.
Chris is just biting at the bit to get another RBI brought in here. Send the go-ahead run in. You can see she even started to step into that one a little bit.
High, ball 2. They might want to just load it up and get the force anywhere, but on the other hand, you just tied the game up if you're Bethany Christian. Swing and a miss, and boy, that does it. Lancers strand 2, go to the top of the 7th inning, the final frame, tied at 16. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation and the voice of the 2017 softball season.
At TNA Rigging Incorporated, the staff works hard to ensure that your project is completed safely, on time, and with the least amount of interruption to your production. They aren't interested in only completing one project. Their goal is to build long-lasting relationships with customers. From machinery movement and repair, installation, transportation services, TNA Rigging has been serving Indiana and Michigan for over 10 years. For all your machinery and installation needs, call the crew at TNA Rigging Incorporated at 574-233-3074. TNA Rigging Incorporated, your satisfaction is our success.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass thrown. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Welcome back to Newton Park. It's a tie ball game going into the final frame. The Lancers and the Lady Bruins here at Newton Park are tied at 16. 16 apiece. Updating you elsewhere in northern Indiana, Winnemac has woken up against Knox 13-4 at the end of 5. We are in a bit of a delay, I guess you could say. Not sure what the conversation is down by the Bethany Christian dugout, but our RHSAA officials having a quick conversation there. It looks like an equipment issue. I think. Well, no, they are calling over the coach. And this will be an interesting, and now they're calling both coaches over, and we'll see what the discussion is. But it looks like. Oh, hang on, I'm going to put actually Coach Will. You're making it up? Man, he's just the worst. Coach Will Hostrauser, ladies and gentlemen, the Alpha Troll this evening. It looks like there is, joking and whatever aside, it looks like there is some discussion and some discrepancy in the score books for both teams this evening. And I'm looking at Maya. Do you have any insight about what's going on, Maya or Savannah, about what? Someone in the. A wrong substitution is the call from our two experts in the field. And we'll double check on that in a few moments. Whatever it is seems to be sorted out, but I think it may have been a substitution error by Bethany Christian. Coach Troy Barber looks like he's shaking his head, going back to his third base coach's box. And with the sweatshirts and the windbreakers on the Bethany Christian players, I can't give you an accurate read on what number that is in the lineup. And Dennis, I'll pull you in. I believe it should be in what position?
Reinhardt, who is the sixth batter.
Should be sixth in the lineup. Whether or not that's Brooke Reinhardt, we'll have to double check. Again, not knowing and not being able to hear the conversations on the field. This is 6th in the lineup for Bethany Christian. Coming up at the plate will be Celeste, and this will be foul, and they'll let it go. Carissa couldn't dive in time to make the play there. 1-2 the count. Said it once, I'll say it many more times. The downside of being at Newton Park, can't hear the conversations. Upside, and this is a hit. That'll be driven to Madison Annis in right field. She will get it in to Alexis Wilfing at second base, hold the runner at first, so it's a leadoff single. Megan Duckworth, or I should say at this point with the swap around. Kern is correct. Kern is at the plate, 7th in the lineup in the batting order for the Bethany Christian Lady Bruins. Tasia Senders thought about a quick throw down to first, but Madison Annis out of position to back up Canine. 0-1. Tie ball game, top of the 7th here at Newton Park on LVH1.
This has just been quite an exciting night. This is 32 runs scored tonight. In case you didn't know, I teach a little bit of math, so that was pretty quick. But 32 runs, that might be the most runs we've seen scored in a game all season.
Last night, LaVille won 18-16, though.
Throw down to first base. Carissa Foster thought she had the ball in her glove, and it dribbled out towards the Bethany Christian dugout. 2-1, I believe, is the count. We'll double-check that with our home plate umpire in just a moment. Delivery, swing, fouled up and back against the backstop. 2 strikes to Kern.
And 2-2 is the count.
Yeah, everyone's really just trying to, this is a brand new game. 7th inning.
Tied at 0, yeah. That's what my ball coach, who of course can't compare to Coach Will Hostrouser, but my ball coach a billion years ago said, tie ball game, scores 0-0 again, and that's the same mentality that the Lancers have to go into the bottom of the 7th and the rest of this. Rang them up. Kern watches strike 3 go by from Celeste Fights. That's a good boost of energy for this Lancer defense. 1 out, tie ball game. Runner at first.
Fights gets the backwards K there, so.
Called ball. It's always good. I wish we had an area mic just for the press box here at Newton Park. Popped up. This will be playable. Alexis Wilfing underneath it. Nice catch there.
By the freshman.
4 unassisted for out number 2. This will be
Lyris.
Melina Lyris, bottom of the order for the Lady Bruins. Lyris coming into this game batting just 133, the junior, and that's way outside. Celeste Fights just lost control of that one. Tasia Senders doing a great job of keeping it in front of her, keeping the runner at first base.
The on-deck batter is Miller, who is 3 for 4 on the night and has a walk.
Delivery from Fights on the way inside, ball 2. The call from the football coach is let him hit it. Let Lyris hit it. Just lob it straight down the middle. Let her put it in play. Trust your defense to get the force. This will be a conceded base as a pass ball gets by Tasia. And now, quick conversation once again from Coach Troy Barber. And now another quick conversation, and it looks like it's getting a little bit more heated. He's getting I don't know if that's an official warning, but the discussion between the two officials will be whether or not it was a hit by pitch, and now it looked like call made by the base umpire was hit by pitch. So runners at first and second, which is basically what we were what some of the peanut gallery here was calling for. 2 outs. Cassie Miller, top of the order for the Lady Bruins coming up. Lancers just need 1 out. Force it just about everywhere except for home. Here's delivery from Fights. Outside. Ball 1.
Yeah, Miller, she didn't get on first that first time up to bat, but she's been on every time afterward. And so this is not the one we want brought in.
1-0. Chopper straight back at Celeste. Out. Number 3. That is a big, big out for the Lancer defense. Nice job there from Celeste. 1-3 for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Lancers could use a walk-off. It'd be one of the first ones, I think, all year for this Lancer squad. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation and the voice of the 2017 softball season.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of LaVille Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Welcome back to Newton Park alongside Wayne Thomas, alongside Coach Brian Carver and Coach Will Hostrauser, who've been providing running commentary and critiques of us all evening, alongside Dennis Fights, who's been doing videography as well as keeping stats, and alongside our student tech director, Zach Dolgus. I'm Matt Florian, very happy to have you aboard. It is a tie ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning here at Newton Park. Up at bat, Celeste Fights, followed by Madison Annis and Alexis Wilfing. 16-16 is the score. The Lancers can walk it off for the first time this year. Celeste watches ball 1 go by. And this is something that we had a discussion about earlier. Coach Brian Carver's favorite players in the on-deck circle warming up. Madison Annis, and if Celeste outside with ball 2, Celeste on base, Madison Annis at the plate, and Coach Brian Carver, I think, might be very well beside himself down there at the end of the table here at Newton Park in the Dome. Delivery inside, called ball 3. Cassie Miller had a quick conversation, quick double check of that call with our home plate umpire. Ball 3 way over the head of Celeste Fights. The war drum is
And Fights has been on base
pounding
every time tonight.
I didn't want to say it on the air, but that was the other conversation. Celeste Fights has been on base every single time she's been at bat this evening. Madison Annis, she's got a lot of real estate in center left field.
Now look at the aggressive stance Fights is taking over on first.
Inside, ball 2.
Yeah, you can't take a lead off in softball, but that is about as aggressive a stance as you can get. She's got the full track pose going.
Just about the only person called strike.
See, she pulled back. She needed a strike.
Madison Annis wanted just 1 strike, 2-1, Coach Brian Carver saying. It is still Andrea Yowzy at the plate, or I'm sorry, on the bump for the Lady Bruins. She's pitched a complete game, 3-1 the count to Hefty Lefty.
And if you look in the outfield right now between left and center, that is a full par 3 between the two of them.
Nearly wore it, but that's base on balls, and that's, I believe, going to be number 8 on the evening. Dennis will double-check that, but that is the 8th walk of the night for Yowzy.
I think I'm in the double digits on mine. But
10th, pardon me. Thank you. Lost count of 1. Wilfing is up at the plate. McKenna Lewis replaced Hannah Good in the lineup. Then Wise, and then that rounds out the order. Then we're back to the power hitters for the Lancers. There you go. The social studies teacher struggling with the math. Yes, Coach Will Hostreiser.
Matt, could you tell us about the sociology going into this right now?
Oh, boy. Safe at third. Celeste Fights. Talk about aggressive base running. And Coach Dave Herbster had a brief moment of panic there. It looked like he almost wanted, on the one hand, he was saying signal for the slide, but on the other hand, he was saying, what are you doing? 3-0 the count to Wilfing. She's got runners on the corner. A base hit will end this game. Don't swing. Called ball 4. The bases are loaded. McKenna Lewis at the plate, the freshman. How about this for a storyline?
What year is
McKenna Lewis, a freshman. She right now, coming into this game, she is batting 0. She has had check this. She has had 3 plate appearances, 1 run scored on no hits. She has been walked, I believe, once. How about this? She takes strike 1. 1 strike to Lewis, no outs, tie ball game, bottom of the 7th. Good eye by the freshman. There are 2 people covering third base. The peanut gallery is going just about bonkers up here. 2-1.
Looks like it. It's going to be a walk-off walk.
Yeah, she could be thinking bunt here. I don't see why not.
In the dirt, 3-1. A good timeout by Miller would be a good call right now. If she walks, that's game's over. Yowzy, she's put in a full effort. You wouldn't want to concede. And that'll be the walk-off. That ends it. Game over. A little bit of hesitation there, but a really good end. Good eyes, good at-bats for the Lancers in the bottom of the 7th. The 3rd victory of the year comes off a walk-off base on balls.
That's a streak.
2 in a row. That is a win streak, ladies and gentlemen, for this 2017 softball team that has had such a struggle in the first part of this year.
Coach Shearer, welcome home.
Welcome home, Coach Shearer. It is great to be home. It's great to have him back in the 574 area code, and it is great to have a win streak here at Newton Park. We're going to step aside, pay a couple of bills, and then we're going to do our final box score and a final quick wrap-up from Newton Park. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation and the voice of the 2017 softball season.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of LaVille Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Introducing TNA Rigging Incorporated. Since 2005, we have been the premier machinery moving company for Lakeville and the surrounding areas. Our experts specialize in moving heavy equipment and machinery. We can also install, repair, and offer precision alignment for your machines. We can help with crane services and steel fabrication in-shop or on-site. For more info, visit tarigging.com or call 574-233-3074.
LVH1 is brought to you by the Union North United School Corporation, TNA Rigging of Plymouth and South Bend, First Source Bank of La Paz, Indiana. Final score here, the Lancers beat the Lady Bruins of Bethany Christian. 17-16 is the final score in a walk-off base on balls at the end of the 7th inning, the second in a 2-game winning streak for the Lady Lancers. Your final box score compiled by Dr. Dennis Feitz and Dr. Wayne Thomas, our statisticians up here in the Dome at Newton Park. Bethany Christian had 16 runs on 12, 1 error, 8 left on base for the Lady Bruins. The Lady Lancers had 17 runs off of 11 hits, 1 error, and 6 left on base. Lancers had, and I'm going to double check this, base on balls for the Lancers were 13, base on ball for the Bruins, 11. The walks definitely were important and were a huge part of this game's outcome from a chilly Newton Park. Wayne Thomas, it's a win streak for this Lady Lancer softball team this evening.
You know, on Big Story here, you're looking out, all the fans were still smiling. They were cold. They had their blankets. They were ready to fold them up and get back in their car. But everyone leaves pretty happy. Both teams really slugged it out tonight. Neither team really gave up. They came out with a lot of fight in them. The Lancers just had a little bit more fight tonight, and they walk away with a win. We got a second home run in the game for Tasia Senders. So some really big hits for both teams. But I'm really pleased with what we got to see tonight. I got to see him with.
And I think the important thing was not just the fact that the Lancers pulled out a victory. That is always important, especially with this team, which has had so many struggles. I think it's a comeback, followed by a comeback, followed by a comeback. I mean, the Lancers had to dig themselves out of several holes throughout the night, especially after conceding a 10-run lead earlier this season. I'm not entirely sure they make that journey out of the hole.
Yeah, that's right. Now, they've learned a lot from some of their past mistakes here. And really stepped it up. So we even saw it tonight live on the field as Carissa Wise was learning how to play center. Hanover in third made what may have been a judgment mistake at one point and came right back to get the final out. So they've really made some good improvements, big strides this season. This game was really the epitome of some of those strides.
Elsewhere in the HNAC, just a quick update. The Winnemac Warriors defeated Culver Academy 8-5 earlier. That game finished up about a quarter of an hour ago. The Lancers will be in action later this week. It's a busy week for both the Lancer softball team and the Lancer baseball team. The Lancer baseball team was scheduled to take on, I believe that was going to be West Central earlier today. That game was canceled due to the field condition at Lancer Field. With the rain earlier, we weren't able to get the field ready in time. The Lancers, this is the Lancer baseball team, and I will double check this in a moment or two once Max Preps loads up. Coming up next for the Lady Lancers, they will face, and I'm going to have to double check somebody on this, Couts at Couts later this week. That is supposed to be tomorrow. Couts, Indiana against Couts High School. Then the Lady Lancers are back on the 5th, Friday, at home at Lancer Field to take on Knox. Then at Glen on the 8th, at Pioneer on the 9th, and at La Crosse. So it doesn't get any easier, but these Lancers have a 2-game win streak and have all sorts of fire going into the bottom of their schedule before sectionals begin later on this month. The Lancer baseball team, just to double check their schedule, they will face South Central at home And I'm double checking that. I'm not sure that is entirely accurate. It is not. That was scheduled for today. That got shuffled around. North Judson St. Pierre tomorrow at North Judson St. Pierre. This is the Lancer baseball team now. Then they will be at North Judson St. Pierre. This is making up some games that the Lancers had to trade back and forth with the weather playing a little bit of havoc in the sports scheduling in northern Indiana this month. The Lancers will then be at Knox on the 8th, then home against Knox on the 9th, Culver Community at home on the 11th, Winnemac on the 13th for a doubleheader at Lancer Field. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back online later this week when the Lancers are at home. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you will follow us by hitting the red subscribe button underneath this video. We also hope you will follow us on Twitter at LVH1 Live. For Dennis Fights, Zach Dolgus, Wayne Thomas, Coach Brian Carver, and Coach Will Hostrauser here at Newton Park, I'm Matt Florian. Very happy to have you with us on LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation. The final score here from Newton Park, the Lancers beat the Bruins 17-16 in 7 innings. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation and the voice of the 2017 softball season.
There's just one place